my name is Katie Mitchell. My final project is a lesson over the zones of regulation. Research has found that children with language impairments are often more socially withdrawn, and because of this, they take part in fewer social learning opportunities. This can lead to a delay in social skills and understanding. Being aware of and in control of our emotions is not a skill that comes naturally, especially to students who struggle with communication and emotional disorders. This lesson is geared towards 6th and 7th graders. It is designed to help students recognize each zone as defined below and create meaningful connections to them. Pragmatic language is closely intertwined with social interactions, and many students who struggle with emotional and behavioral disorders have problems with pragmatics. Students who struggle with emotions often also struggle with vocabulary used in emotional expression. In this lesson, we will focus on emotions and the vocabulary necessary to express them. All right, the group of kids that this lesson is geared toward. There are 4 students with IEP behavior goals focusing on impulse control. There are 3 boys and 1 girl. 1 student is on the autism spectrum and struggles to understand metaphors and analogies. All 4 students have access to Chromebooks, and all 4 are able to verbally communicate and understand one another. The objective of the lesson: students will define each zone and create at least one personal example situation that would fit into each zone or category. All right, the lesson itself. The teacher asks the students to turn to their partner and name as many emotions as they can think of. Then the group comes together and writes these emotions on the whiteboard. The teacher says that we are going to put these emotions into 4 groups and pulls out a large poster with 4 columns, color-coded. An alternative to this, instead of looking and writing on the whiteboard, students and teachers could all be looking at a shared document on their Chromebooks. Teacher puts 1 word in each category and asks the group to discuss what the categories might mean based on these words. The teacher then puts another word in each category and asks if they still want to keep the definition they came up with. After the teacher feels that they have a solid definition for each category, she asks them to put the rest of the emotions they listed into the 4 different categories. An alternative for more physical engagement, students could play charades and guess which zone the chosen student is in. Students are given a worksheet with the 4 columns and space to write. They're asked to give an example from their life of when they felt they were in each zone or experiencing one of the emotions in the zone. An alternative, instead of handwriting their personal examples for the final task, they could type, draw a comic, or speak into a recording device to show their understanding. An extension could include further learning, creating their own zone book that includes examples for understanding, but also includes drawing pictures of people or themselves expressing the different emotions. Language and communication go hand in hand with social interaction. Students who struggle with one often struggle with the other. There are very specific skills that students must master in order to be successful socially. Language ability, social skills, and social cognitive skills, for example, presupposition and perspective taking skills, including an awareness of what the listener already knows and the listener interest in the conversation, and executive functioning. Pragmatic difficulties in particular can have a major impact on a student's social and emotional skills. Teaching students about the zones of regulation helps them gain access to emotional vocabulary. It also helps them learn appropriate reactions to certain emotions and how to read and interpret those reactions in other people. The requirements of successful social communication are complex. Children must be aware of their own intentions and perspectives as well as those of their peers. In order to help students access the language necessary to communicate their wants and needs, it's important to teach the vocabulary explicitly and repeatedly. Students should be able to see and interact with the vocabulary in a safe space during a calm, happy time. That way, when they become upset or frustrated, they can access the prior knowledge. Without lessons like the zones of regulation, students are unable to communicate their needs and often resort to tantrums or aggression to get their message across. Consequences of unidentified language impairments can be serious for children with EBD, who may resort to physical means to communicate and needs or resolve conflicts. The following resources were used